Page 29, folk dance. We've got a lot of dances going on here, don't we? 4/4 time, no sharps or flats. You think maybe we're in the key of C major? Actually, no, we're in the key of A minor. Because look at the left hand is got a lot of minor going on here, dude. That's A minor. Right hand. So 4/4 time, we got a lot of eighth notes. 1 and 2 and. 1 and 2 and. This is good because the notes are all jumbled up. I like that. Third line down, third measure, you have a whole note that's tied to a quarter note. Hold that down for 5 counts. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and. That B, the last note, that's tied to the 8th note on the next line. So it's like 4 and 1 and 2. So we gotta hold that down. The last line, that B is tied. The first measure, the last note, the B is tied. Yeah, and 1. And the next measure, same thing, the B is tied. So hold down. And then they got quarter notes at the end. Isn't that wonderful? Oh, it's wonderful. I just know it is. Left hand, A and an E. Basically, it's an A minor chord without the middle note. And then when you get to the second measure, the second line, now you get the middle note. And then 8th notes. Now, third line down, starting in the third measure. These notes are tied. So the half note E, that's tied to the dotted half note. That's 5 counts. You hold that down. Too many curved lines, huh? Well, the first curved line, the top curved line there for the left hand is a slur or a phrase mark. The other curved line between those two E's, that's a tie. And then and that's really all it is. So you got these curved lines for both hands. So when you put them together, we got to observe this because they're not the same. We got different slurs for each hand. So at the beginning, you're here. So you got to lift up in the right hand between each measure. It's a new slur. The left hand stays down. Again, at the beginning. Until you get to the second measure, second line. Now both hands staccato. Then the third line, you start with a staccato and then the slurs. Rest. You go work out these notes here. They're sort of mirroring each other, but not exactly. And then the third measure, the third line, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2. Hold the B. Hold that B down and work that out with the two hands. Rhythm's different, the slurring's different, you gotta work it all out. Now the slur for the right hand, for the last line and the last half of the third line, that's all one big slur. You connect all of that in the right hand. So really both hands are slurred on this part. That helps a little, I guess. Now at the top it says soft. I suggest that would be the right hand because this isn't much of a melody. So keep the left hand very soft. Stay soft until you get down to the third line in the third measure. Now all of a sudden you're loud. 2, 3, 1 and. You stay loud all the way to the end. That's the right hand that's loud. The left hand is just sort of loud. Now there's a rallentando at the end, next to the last measure at the bottom. You see the R-A-L-L, rallentando, if I'd say it right. It's slow down. It's like a retardando. Just slow down a little bit. Different words mean the same thing. So the counting just slows down a little bit. Depends on how fast you're going, because there's no tempo mark here. I don't know if that's intentional or not. It's a folk dance. So imagine dancing. Is it a slow dance? Could be. Or is it a happy fast dance? Or somewhere in between. I leave that entirely up to you. Doesn't say. So let's do this slowly together to double check the notes and the rhythms. I'll give us 4 counts. I'm not going to do the dynamics, just the notes and the rhythms and the articulation and the slurring. 1 and 2 and ready and go and. Rest. Rest. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1. Two and 3 and 4 and off.